concentrated on the way we did in the 1980s and 1990s, the answer is yes. It hasn't been concentrated on to the same extent.
But then a bipartisan group, and President Trump signed it. You all agreed that that was a bad policy, and Trump signed it into law.
So let me say much of the surge in violent crime today, as you heard from Senator Cornyn, is the result of the illicit drug trade, and we haven't done as much in recent years as we did in the 80s and the early 90s to stop it. But that illicit drug trade now is almost entirely concentrated in one nation, Mexico. That is a change from where things were in the 1980s. Those overdoses, all that crime you see at the border that Senator Cornyn referred to, is driven by the cartels and by the open borders. Now, I would ask you, what do you think this nation would do? What do you think we should do if ISIS or Al-Qaeda set up shop in Juarez or Tijuana or Monterrey? That's exactly what we should do to these cartels, because they are responsible for orders of magnitudes of more deaths than happened on 9/11 or that happened in the entire Vietnam War. If you want to win the war on drugs, you have to take it to the cartels in Mexico.
Can I say something?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, look, that's a very good question, and yours was good too. Let me tell you what we're really debating here, it seems to me, with our Democratic colleagues. There's certain bedrock principles on which our country was founded, and it exists. One, of course, is freedom of speech. You're not free if you can't express yourself and say what you think. Another is equal opportunity. Another is the rule of law. But there's another one, and that's what we're debating here. It's called free will and responsibility. Now, you either believe in free will and responsibility or you don't. We have chosen to order our Western society on that basis. That doesn't mean that when one acts a certain way, there aren't a multitude of reasons why they do it. But at the end of the day, I believe that my Creator made me and gave me free will. And with that goes responsibility. And some of my colleagues don't agree with that. They think that if you're a criminal, it's not your fault. It's always somebody else's fault. They may be right, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't agree with them. And once you stop accepting the principle of free will and responsibility, that we are all responsible for our actions. I don't care who's done what to you. I don't care how you feel that day. You are responsible for your actions. If we give up on that principle, we're going to have disorder. I got to go.
This will have to be the last question.
There's a report that the Biden administration is offering Victor Bout to Russia in exchange for Brittany Griner and Paul Whelan as a prisoner exchange. Yeah. Would you all support a prisoner exchange like that in an effort to get Brittany Griner and Paul
What they're
Whelan
doing is not a crime, so I won't answer your question.
Do you have any, Senator Cotton, any thoughts on that?
I just got to go look at the reports. I don't know, honestly. This is news to me. You got any other rumors, though? I love rumors.
I want to ask you about your ports. You guys.
About what?
Your ports. When Congress did the bipartisan